Lose a tempo. Welcome back. YouTube, SoundCloud. This is episode 31 of the Spotlight Podcast, where we talk about all the trending topics in dance music and showcase upcoming platforms, music, and artists. And also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button to make sure you're notified every time these episodes drop. We really do appreciate all the support. Like I said, this is episode 31. I want to go ahead and welcome you guys to my special guest. It's been a couple of years since I've been doing a special guest, and we've always been involved in the scene. You know, I've always seen her do her thing. She's DJ before. She also makes her own music. Also does a lot of stuff, not just only music production, but also involving like A&R work with labels. And doing a bunch of work like that, that's not really like your average like producer DJ type of like activity. So, it's really dope to have you come through to the platform,
Carlos.
Ashley. Like, thank you so much. Everyone, please welcome Ashley, and also you guys can go ahead and follow her to stay updated with all the things that she'll be doing. And
Carlos actually lied. We've known each other for like 4 years, not a couple years.
no, well, I'm sorry. Well, that's what I meant.
No,
Like,
I'm just kidding,
nah.
bro. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but thanks again for coming through. And before we actually talk a little bit more about like what you've been doing these past couple of years, I want to do a segment with you called Quick Hits, and it's pretty much like a timed questionnaire.
Okay, go ahead.
I give you a couple questions. You're gonna answer it as quick as you can. You don't gotta really like think about it too deep. You just kind of just like whatever you think of.
Yeah, it's
you
not
just go
that
ahead.
deep, so I feel you.
Yeah, it's not that deep. But here we go, guys. This is the Quick Hit segment here with Ashley, and we're about to get started. Here we go. What is your social media handle?
Rad_Riley with 3 Ys.
Favorite DJ software?
Ableton. Oh, that's not.
Hey, people DJ on Ableton.
No,
People
I don't fucking do that though. Okay, sorry, anyone who likes Rekordbox, good for you, but I like Serato.
Hey,
I like Serato.
Hey, honestly, I'm always mixing on Rekordbox, but fuck it. It's this time. Let me just shut up. Age you started at?
Yeah?
Age you started at?
Oh, DJing. I was old, dude. I was like 19, almost 20. 20 actually. 20. I was 20.
All right, cool. Favorite genre of music?
Fuck, dude. Low key, right now I've been in that reggaeton because all the reggaeton baddies, and then
Okay.
it's summer, so like.
What about subgenre of EDM?
Low key, I used to be super heavy into bass. I'll be honest, like Excision, fucking, fan and
For
shit.
sure.
I fucking love that dude still. But right now, low key, like I really like the dark club techno vibe. So
Oh, okay.
SysDMS, IO, any of that's like the Speaker Honey, Mousetrap
okay.
shit,
I got you.
Scion. I really like the seductive part of it, and I feel like a lot of seduction is not in electronic music, so I think that's the closest thing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll fuck with that. Favorite streaming platform?
Definitely not SoundCloud. Spotify. No, I take that back. Apple Music has better playlists for EDM.
All right.
Yeah.
Respect. Favorite BPM?
130.
Hey.
Yeah.
Special skill.
Fuck, dude.
What's your special skill?
Bro. What's your special skill?
Or I can shoot lasers out my eyes.
Oh shit. Okay.
I can shoot lasers out my eyes.
Special skill. I can sneak into festivals and not get caught.
Hey, that's a skill.
Okay.
Hey, that's a skill.
Okay,
All right.
Pasquale, don't hate me.
Hey, first festival.
Nocturnal 2015.
All right, I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Why?
I was in college and I really liked the whole like EDM music, but I didn't know that there was this thing called raves until I was in college.
Okay.
And then I was living with 2 gay guys and they were all about that stuff and we all went together. Don't take an orange Tesla whole as your first time. That shit was crazy.
Oh god.
But it was the funnest trip, funnest, experience. I was hooked since then and I got really broke because of raves, but it was worth it.
They're always worth it.
Always, yeah.
What is your dream festival?
Like to go to or to play?
To both. To both.
To go to, my dream festival would be what's that? Like, I don't know. Fuck. There's just so many, bro. Okay, I don't know, but let's just maybe like EDC, like Japan, just for the experience of being like, or something in Australia. I need to look that up. To play, probably Coachella.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because Coachella, I think it brings the best of the best from every genre, and even though I'm really super heavily into EDM, I really enjoy like all the other things as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's seasons like me of me that are the same like how you think, where I'd rather just go to a concert where it's not just maybe strictly bass music or strictly house. Like I like a little bit of diversity on the lineup. Like, I like, maybe I like me some pop sometimes.
Yeah, pop's fire,
dude. Maybe I want an influencer to headline. Like they had. Remember when they had that little kid from Walmart, Yodel? Hey, they had that for they had that for headline. They put him behind the CDJs and everything.
I saw Brody Jenner DJ and Pauly D. Was that his name? Pauly D? From Jersey Shore. It was cool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm super about like innovative shit, but we can talk about that within the session. Yeah.
Hey, well, that was quick hits. Just with that, I feel like our audience and your audience as well knows a little bit more about you as a person. I want to get now more into how you got involved with EDM. Your passion. How did it all start? And then as you talk more about that, we get more into how you got into DJing, production, getting involved with like working with labels and all that stuff, artist management. Let us know in the beginning, like how did it all start?
So it all started when I was like 12 years old. I'm pretty sure you guys have a similar story where you're carrying that CD player. There wasn't iPods then, right? You're carrying the CD players, have those headphones. I have an older sister. She was like she's 6 years older than me. So obviously the age gap is big. I was young and while she was like kind of getting into like the, going to party scene. So there was a mistake that actually happened when I got my first iPod. And I was like, hey, can you download music into it? And it's usually like the Fall Out Boy, Paramore, whatever. Okay. That's punk pop, right? Yeah, pop punk, whatever. And she accidentally downloaded her playlist on mine. So that was like Bass Nectar, Bass Hunter. If you're OG, if you know Bass Hunter, Dead Mouse Cascade, like all like the fresh new people. And then ever since that, like I started listening to it and I was hooked. I was like, this shit's tight. This is dope. I was really young when I started listening to it. And then when I was in high school, I had like pump up songs like from like Zed and Swedish House Mafia. So that was like when I was 15, 16. And then I went to college thinking I was going to do like physical therapy or criminology because think about it, when you're young, you're told that all this stuff that you like is a dream. Like you have to grow up and shit. And I was getting kind of trapped into that. I went to UCR as a major of political science. I freaking fucking sucked at that shit. I was like, this shit's so boring. Like,
why you gotta give yourself credit. What you mean?
It was just lame, dude. Like, I had a C- in a general ed class, and I was like, oh my god, this is the worst. So then I'm gonna kind of like cut through some parts. I changed my major to media studies because it gave me more time. Like, it was a fucking easy major. Like, you gotta be really dumb to fail, right? And so I was like, I'm gonna like dig into shit that I like. I joined the DJ club at UCR. I remember that. So they do a lot of shit. That's when I started learning how to DJ. That was my end of second, third, and then kind of going into my third year of college. I didn't get my first internship until my senior year of college. My first internship in the music industry. Prior to that, like I was, a geek on SoundCloud, DJing and helping out like on campus with like radio shit, or, like volunteer shit.
Yeah, and I had seen you also at the Riverside Municipal drop a set too.
Yeah, that was
part of your DJ collective, right?
Yeah, it was part of my DJ collective. Yeah, I remember that. That was so.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, memories.
Yeah, I know that shit was fun.
Dude, that shit was lit. I met a really cute girl that day. It was the best. Yeah, if you're a DJ, you get like you get brownie points for talking to girls. So that's a cool thing.
Brownie points. All right, bet.
When I was in my last year of college, I got an internship to Insomniac headquarters to do A&R work for them and then do like radio sweeps for Insomniac Radio or Night Owl Radio. And then it's just like a lot of little things that they need help with, like making Excel sheets of like management teams, people who write press, and then helping out too with talent booking, like because all these Insomniac, the big promoters, this Godani, they're looking at the money. They're looking at who's going to sell the most tickets, right? But then at the same time, like, the way that the business works, it's like, okay, we have all this money for these tickets, but for these artists, right? But then we need to fill, like, the smaller slots to make up for the more time. So, like, who's, like, the coming up artist that people would come see, but we don't have to really pay them that much because they're new.
Yeah, I figured.
So that's how it works, So then, like, they would ask, like, me, like, oh...
That's crazy.
Like the talent manager, like, like, okay, who's like, but at the same time, it's almost like that's an opportunity for that person too. So it's
facts.
almost like a fair share.
Facts.
And at first I was like, that's kind of fucked up. But then now I'm like working more into the business side of things, and it's like I understand why things are the way they are. So that was my favorite internship by far. I'm still really cool with those guys. Like we still like talking stuff. And then after that, I didn't even apply for this one. I got a call from Dim Mak Records saying, hey, like, we saw that your term with Insomniac was over, because there's like a max amount that you can work for them for free legally. And so they hit me up to do A&R and streaming for them. And that's where I met like my homie Jimmy, who's the A&R of Dim Mak.
Okay.
And I also friends with him still too, which was really cool. And then right out of college, a week before I graduated, I got hired at Mad Decent as an A&R. So that shit it was pretty lit. I really like, it was an aha moment, like, dang, like I really went in for like what I wanted, because it was not easy, dude. I had to drive 3 hours one way 2 to 3 times a week.
So you were hustling, grinding.
I was hustling. I was an RA that year too. And I was taking 20-something units, like 21 units.
Like RA, resident advisor, right? Like at your college?
I never slept, bro. Like
there's always some bullshit happening.
Oh, yeah, and then I was vice president of the DJ club.
Damn. So
I was like, I had no time for anything. I had no time to slack. I don't know if you can relate to this, but Latino parents, like, why are you working for free? Like, that's stupid. Like, that's dumb. And I didn't care. It's what I liked. And I'm doing management for Next Step Management. So it's been a really long journey, but I met the coolest people, and I wouldn't be anywhere else. And, yeah.
I could. Oh, actually, Robert has some. What did you want to say about that, Robert?
So just in management, learning like how to book people and how the bookings work. How long do you think it would take someone to try to figure how all that works out if you didn't go through your route per se?
I would say, like, I'm still learning, dude. Like, you're still learning no matter what. Like, when I was working at a label, I thought, like, oh, I know a lot. Then I started doing management, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know shit, dude. Like, because when you're in management, you do everything. You're doing the merch drops with the artist, you're marketing the tours, you're trying to sell tickets. You work with every department that the artist is getting in contact with, whether that's sponsorships, shows, labels. And I only knew the label side at that point, right? But now that, COVID's over and shows are coming up again, I'm still, like, learning. And I just asked my team, like, hey, and they understand. Like, we all have really good skill sets on our own. So I'll ask my team, like, hey, like, I'm not really too familiar on how this process works, right? Like, if someone gives us an offer of $1,000, but the cap is, like, 500 people and the ticket price is $25, then that means they're undercutting you. And to me, it's like, I didn't know that, because I thought, like, I don't know how much everything costs, like insurance and how much people are getting paid to work with their security. And they're like, and my management team, they'll just kind of educate me more on what's a good deal, what's a bad deal. There's this thing called radius clause too. Like, if we're trying to sell tickets in California, like, let's say San Bernardino, you can't have a show in Riverside like a month later, because then one of them's, there's going to be less ticket sales on one.
Yeah, because people are going to just rather wait to go to the other show.
So those are things that I didn't even know. So I think, to answer your question, if you were to have someone who is working in it and to, like, show you the ropes, it can literally be, like, I'd say you won't find out until you're in it, like, the process. Maybe, like, a year. I think it took me, it's been 1.5 years for me in management, but more seriously, like, 6 months because of COVID, right? Because shows is a big thing on how, like, what management is, like, doing. I'd say I know a good amount, but I'm still learning. So I don't know if that answered your question. I'm sorry.
No, it definitely did. But I only asked you that because myself, I'm in a similar situation where I kind of have to learn that stuff, because I do help manage HUSKI. But, like, especially with all these shows that he's been doing and then shows that he's been throwing, we kind of see everything you've been saying, like booking DJs because they're up and coming and they're in this area, or like getting this DJ because he has the name, and then, filling those lesser slots. Like, it all makes sense coming from, like, a higher level, like where you're at, to even showing, like, throwing little shows out here, like local shows.
Yeah, all shows are really hard to put together. I think when the money's bigger, it's more hard too because there's more money being involved. Like when I started management, okay, so I thought like when you say that an Arm & Hammer gets booked for EDC or a festival, right? Like let's just say Sunset. I thought that the festival paid for their flights and hotels. They don't. That they have to pay for all their own shit, and then they get the whatever the money that they get paid for. And sometimes it is not even a lot. Like they'll pocket like I'm not saying like Arm & Hammer, but let's say like a decent artist, like 40K followers or like on Instagram, whatever. I'm pretty sure you can have an idea.
Okay.
Like they're probably only pocketing like $500 for that show or less because you have to pay your photographer. You have to pay like for visuals if you're making new visuals, your flights, your team's flights if they're going. So you're paying a lot. Like, to be an artist is a lot of fucking money, honestly. And then even for marketing, like say that you want to do like boosts or pushes, like that comes out of the artist's pocket. Like not really like us because we're working for them. And that's the dynamic of like artists and managers. So me and Kendall are like best friends. Right, so we talk about like girls, we talk about stupid shit, like we drink together, whatever.
Are you managing her?
Yeah, managing.
Oh
her.
hell,
yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't
Congrats.
say that. Thank you.
Just recently, right?
Yeah,
hell
we
yeah.
picked her up like 2 months ago. I've been friends with her for around 3 years. So it was a really good match, I would say.
You say we, so is you and some other people like doing the
next step management.
Next step. Oh, right on.
Yeah,
okay.
because we kind of all share our artists, but we're more like I'm more of Kendall than them, and then like Alex is more of Arm & Hammer, and Daniel's more of Midas. But we all like, hey, if we need help with an artist, like more than one person, then we would just jump in.
All right, no, yeah, for sure. And then whatever you're dealing with Kendall, like I'm sure like the other people know, like are aware of what's going on.
No,
like,
yeah,
like
for
to be
sure.
aware with all that shit, yeah.
Because we want to always be on the same page. I mean, sometimes when we're so busy right now, I just announced a tour for Midas. Like I didn't know how much work it actually came in to do, like tour announcement, bookings, selling tickets. I'm like, what the fuck? It's so much work.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about management and artists, like, I'm so glad that me and her, we're really good friends. Mm-hmm. And I've heard some like management artist horror stories where they only talk to their artists like once a month, or they don't like have a good relationship. You're basically in a marriage. Like I talk to Kendall almost every day. Mm-hmm. Like throughout the day, every day. But the dynamic about artist and manager, it's like she's my boss, but sometimes like I have to tell her no because she pays me, right? Because I'm like that's where the money's coming from. Uh-huh. But then it's kind of like a weird dynamic because how do you tell your boss no? Like you're telling your boss like no, we can't do this, or no, that's not a good idea, or no, we should do that, because our job is to give them a more business perspective on how to approach things. Let me think of one example of what I think. Okay, so like releases, right? Thinking of like how the way to organize releases, like my suggestion was like throughout the festivals and stuff, so we can like announce the promo of the release with the festival, so it's maximized, versus just dropping one release a week. Like that's not, you need the releases to breathe. And I think that's where my label experience like helped her a bit, because that's what all we did was releases. But that's the manager's job to like know and understand like, okay, what should we hop on, or what is the best idea business, like in a business aspect, that to maximize the artist's like goals, right? So it could even be something as simple like, hey, like let's just pretend she's playing with like AC Slater, like the same lineup. Right. Take pictures with him, get tagged in his posts, do it like that shit like matters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so there's a lot of little things, but I think in management, I would say is you're always learning. You're always learning, and it's okay to be like wrong sometimes. And I think that's what people get afraid of. Like I don't want to make a wrong decision, but being a manager, your role is to make decisions. And even if they're wrong, like it's okay. Your role is to be a problem solver, like solve the problem. Like I fucked up a couple times, but okay, what are we gonna do? Sit around, or we're gonna solve the problem? So I think in management, that's a quality you need to have, and there's a lot more qualities I can talk about, but yeah, that's a little bit of it.
Hey, well, congrats on the Kindle. managing her? Is it just her that you're just kind of like putting your attention on, or is there any other?
I do some work for Midas too, and then we have a couple smaller acts in different genres, not electronic, and then potentially right now we're talking to like 2 others. Can't say because they're not contracted yet, but
just play.
But yeah, like I feel like Kendall was a really good addition to our team. And also this too, like this is what I've heard from multiple people. I think because she's had other managers before, and I think like a girl artist should be with the girl manager. Like I think that's like kind of like a better understanding.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
and I mean that's just like an off idea, but that's what I've heard from other like female artists too. Like I think it would have been beneficial. I love my manager, but maybe more beneficial if because when you're a manager, you have to be kind of like very understanding of. Your artist, yeah, is your business, but that's a person. That's your friend.
True, yeah, exactly.
And like I actually approach management way different than so many people. I feel like a lot of managers, I'm not gonna say any names obviously, but they're very egotistical. Like if their artist is big, they'll be very like I deserve this, I deserve that. Like I don't need to talk to you. Like my artist is big enough, whatever. But they don't realize that ruins a lot of opportunities. Just
because of like them feeling like they're already comfortable and shit.
Like I've heard stories. Like I'm not shitting on bass music, but I'm gonna like shit on bass music a little bit.
Man, there's always space to shit on bass music.
So
what you mean?
I've met photographers, right? Photographers that worked for us shooting our shows. When they're shooting our shows, like, hey, you want a drink? Hey, like I'm like super cool with them. Like talking about like what their passions are. Whatever. I just like people and. A few of them actually told me they're like, "Wow, your team is so good and professional and responsive and easy to work with." That's the term. And I asked like, "Why? Like, what makes you say that?" And they responded, "Well, when I worked with bass artists, they're very like dicks, like to the photographers." And I think that's really not good because those are the people that are like that's your team. Like, why are you being an asshole to your team?
Right.
Like just because your name is a little bit bigger than the name under, like doesn't mean that you're playing Coachella or some big festival. Like I don't know. The thing with egos in bass music is a big thing.
Oh, let me tell you.
In bass music, everyone tries to be the alpha. Like, I'm alpha. I'm like,
dude.
I'm like, you guys aren't shit, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love bass music, but the community, I feel like I've become more distant to it because I've seen more close up the attitude of how they are, you know?
Preach.
So, but I mean, I'm not saying this is everybody. There's bass artists I've met. Their teams are dope. But I've never heard like a house team be like assholes.
I was just about to mention that. I feel like all the egos that I've come across that are like always like obnoxious. Like I deserve this, I deserve that. Like it's always come from the dubstep side of things. Because bass, could go into trap, drum and bass. I feel like it's always just been in like the dubstep, specifically like rhythm. Like,
I feel it, yeah, dude, rhythm for sure. I
feel my experience.
No,
you feel me?
Other people have told me that too. I think it's because of the way the genre is displayed. Aggression, like mosh pits. Yeah, dude, I go in mosh pits all the time. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's because the way that, that's the point. It's power in dubstep. It's like, I'm powerful, right? Like, rock music does that too. The same thing. Like, punk music, actual punk music, they get in mosh pits too. Mm-hmm. I think that has a lot to do with the egotistical standpoint. And sometimes it does go with their managers. And there's some managers I'm just like, dang, you're like such a dick. And then they'll need me later for something. And I'm like, like, an example is I was at a day party. And then this one dude was super bitchy to me, right?
Oh,
like, super dick to me. I was sitting on a couch, like, of the lounge or whatever. And he literally told me to get up and move so, like, the hot girls can sit down. And I was like, oh, my God, you look like a fucking duck. Like, sit down. Whatever. I was pissed
Here's
because...
some bread. Leave.
Yeah. I was annoyed. I was like, what? Who talks like that to anybody? Right? And then it's funny because he hits me up on email, like, 2 days later to sign records of his artist. Because I looked him up on LinkedIn, right? And I'm like, wait, that's that dude that was a fucking dick. So then I respond to his email, oh, your professionalism didn't come off well with our team at this day party. We don't want to receive any demos from you or your artist.
Get him.
Exactly. So he literally costed his artist to be on Mad Decent for sure. Or like Diplo and Friends and all that shit.
And I feel like that's a common that happens with, I feel like, with bigger artists. You know, they get comfortable with their ego. You know, they're playing the shows consistently, flying out, they're getting these label releases, and then they don't really like pay too close attention to like their attitude and how they come off with others.
You would think though, right? But there's some artists that are pretty big. I'm just gonna say their names: Wookie, Nitty Gritty. Like, they're fucking nice. They're super dope.
Oh,
Diplo,
dude.
super dope. Like, he's fucking huge. He's like never been rude to me. Like, Ricky and Chris never been rude to me either. Like, I feel like I don't know what it is. I think it's just the person. I think a lot of ego comes from insecurity. You know, like, I'm bigger than you, but
you know what? Yeah, I believe
But when I've talked to like other people, or I feel like for an example, I'm just gonna use myself as an example.
Okay.
I don't have like a lot to offer anybody, like in the production standpoint, you know what I'm saying? I'm just someone in the music industry, like working. I was doing tour managing or whatever. But just because I was so cool with everyone, like an example, SMF, I got photographers for Phoenix. I got like, you know, Kendall potential opportunities for bookings in New York, in Amsterdam, just because I just said, how are you? Hello, like, what's your name?
Oh, that shit
you know,
matters.
and yeah, that shit really mattered. I got free photographer for that weekend. They cost a lot of money.
Hey, hell yeah, they do.
So it's like the better you are with people, and then the more, you know, empathetic you are, you're building opportunities for yourself. You know, and I feel like just because you're at a certain point, it's gonna stop. Your opportunities, like, yeah, you're a good artist, but example, Deadmau5 and Pasquale. I don't know if you saw that beef on Twitter.
Yeah.
Deadmau5 was like, oh, they like, if you're thinking I'm gonna play EDC, they didn't book me. And Pasquale was like, you act like we were gonna book you. His career's probably gonna, like, he's gonna run out of money. His career's gonna be over, because who's gonna book him if he's a dick? Nobody.
You know what? Yeah, you bringing that up, maybe not related to the DJs, but just like any other creative, you know, when they feel like, you know, they're big shit, like they're like in their ego, right? Like they feel like they could just be a dick to anyone, like they could just, you know, go on public and like just act like the way they act. And honestly, with business, it's always about, like, you know, maintaining that healthy business relationship. And you don't want to come off as like a dick, or you don't want to come off as like that person that like that you don't like have room to learn anymore. Like, you know it all. Like, you know, you always have to leave yourself with space to learn, because like you said, we're always learning.
Yeah,
whether
exactly.
it's DJing, production, artist management, business, all that fucking shit. If I can
say one thing, I remember this experience so well. So there was someone from like a team like yours, or what's it called, like Low End Theory. They're like DJs, like playing shows or whatever. They're like small, right? That's
yeah.
I was with one of my friends at a kickback, and he was a part of one of those. And he was very like, I need a manager, my music the shit, I'm the best, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, dude. I was like, okay, like, you know, I'll give you a chance. I'll listen to your music, like, play it. It was like very like whatever. It was like a 6.
Choppy,
it wasn't
kinda
shit, but it wasn't like
what he was like hyping
it up to be. And you know, I understand that you're a new artist, like, you're growing, you're learning.
Feedback is key.
But he was very like, I know, Bob. Like, I know I'm the best, blah, blah. Like, what do you know about music, blah, blah. And then I was like...
That's the shit that, like...
I was like, okay, dude. Like, if you're like that at the very beginning...
Oh, man.
And you're like, a lack for a better phrase, a nobody, you're never going to get anywhere. Ever. It doesn't matter how good your music is. Like, if you're shitty, like, no one's going to want to fuck with you. Period.
Maybe I do speak for everybody, but maybe I don't. But I feel like... ego can be a pretty strong feeling, and it could kind of be hard to control, because, you know, for some people they don't have that control with ego, you know, because like you want to think highly of yourself, you know, a lot of times you don't really want to think like negative for yourself. You always want to think highly, like, oh yeah, like, you know, whatever I'm doing, I feel like I am putting like my best efforts.
And that's healthy.
Like
that's good, but in the process, you don't say you suck.
But you
or
got
I'm better than you.
exactly. Yeah. Like making remarks like that, it's not productive. It's counterproductive. Like it's like you say, it burns bridges. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm about to fucking fade up this fly right here. Shit. Hold up.
No, I was like trying to swap it, but you know, he's chilling, bro. It's cool. He's a homie.
Hey, maybe you bring out the EDM confession cards. Maybe the shit will start repelling. But actually, I wanted to talk more about because I remember there was a time where you were also, I don't know if you still do it, but you're interviewing like DJs like at festivals. And
yeah.
I wanted to talk about what was like some of your favorite artists that you did those type of things with.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna put like a funny story. I'm not gonna say his name. I'll tell you who it is after Carlos. But there's this like bass house DJ. It was hard 2019. I did interviews. I used to write for blogs like Run the Trap. I still write for Culture. Who else did I write for? Fuck. I write for like other like low key EDM blogs like EDM Identity.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember because I kind of don't really do that anymore.
Hey, you do a lot, you know.
But
you
yeah. So there's this. My favorite time is. So we were in this trailer, right? I was interviewing this bass house artist, like, and then he was with like a bunch of girls, but he like vibed with me, he fucked with me. He was like, "Hey, what's up?" Because I knew his manager already, and then we were vibing. He was cool. And then, like, this manager's like, "Hey, we're going to do the interview." And he was like, "Fuck, I'm all K'd out. Blah, like, I can't do this shit." And I was like, "Bro, I got you." He's like, "You want some?" So I did K with him.
Oh, my God.
I did K with him. And then we, like,
shit.
tried to do the interview. And he was like, "Fuck it." He was like, "Do you really need it?" I was like, "Honestly, bro, it's fine. I have, like, 2 other ones I can use." And then from there, like, he, like, hung out with me for most of the hard summer. Oh. And then we were hanging out with Dom Dalla, Will Clark, and then like another house. It was so weird, dude. And we were just drinking in their trailers, and then like I was like lit at this point, and then we all fucking got a little cart thing to watch Keizo together.
Oh, right.
I thought that was like so random. I was like, I would never, like, my 17-year-old self would never think I'd be doing drugs with an artist I would pay tickets to go see, and then like drinking with another artist I paid tickets to go see, which I had paid already when I was younger. And then, like, to see one of my favorite artists together. Like, it was so fucking, like, random. That was my favorite one. I really enjoyed interviewing Moxie. They're, like, super chill guys.
Oh, Moxie, okay.
And Little
Moxie.
Texas. Yeah, Moxie. I don't know, Moxie, switch it.
Switch up.
Switch up. Yeah, they're super sweet, dude. They're funny. And Little Texas was interesting, too. I really like him. Sam.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Let's get right into EDM Confessions. Have you watched any of our past episodes or like of this podcast by chance?
I don't think I've watched the full episode.
I got you. Well, this is a segment that we do here at the Spotlight. We're essentially kind of like a card game where we put ourselves in certain scenarios. Kind of opens up your personality, like in the EDM scene as well. So like you might get a question like, "Oh, what is like one of your favorite DJs?" Shit like that. So it's like questions like that.
Okay.
You do have some cards right there on top of that speaker that you're gonna ask me.
Oh.
No. Yeah. Go
Okay.
grab it. Yeah, grab it. And then you can start off with whatever question that you want. And that's EDM Confessions. It's pretty much us just like kind of getting to know each other as to like, what is that we would do in these scenarios? Like what kind of answers we would have for these questions. So
okay.
If you want to start it off, you go ahead and ask me a question from any of those cards. You can choose, yeah.
Okay.
And then like we'll just work our way through them.
Okay. You're at a party and you just got Ox. What's the first EDM track you play?
Huh. Honestly, I'm gonna play it safe. Excision, Space Laces Rumble.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna just play it safe, like, cause you just know that when that shit goes on, like it's gonna be a banger regardless. It's an anthem, like it's literally an anthem.
It's literally the dubstep anthem, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to play it safe right off the bat. I just got Ox. Motherfuckers are looking at me. All right, cool. Well, I got the. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
And then it goes.
Lit. I love bass, dude. Bass is fun.
Yeah.
So is it okay? Then it's your turn after.
Yeah. So okay. You go whatever. There you go.
All right.
You good? Oh, here we go. I actually want to know the answer to this question. Let's get it. You're throwing a rave. What are you going to call it?
Ah, fuck.
Got him.
I want to name it. Okay, I've been really into like. Have you seen the Silhouette TikTok from Doja Cat? Like it's like her song Streets.
Oh, like the famous ass. Yeah.
But it's like in this shadow.
Okay.
I've been really into that vibe, and I feel like that vibe is very correlated with techno, but like dark club. You know, I would name it like Sex Chamber or some shit like that.
Oh, Sex Chamber.
Yeah, or some shit like that, dude. Or something that's like seductive, and
damn,
I don't know. I've been into that vibe lately, so.
Yeah, definitely not all ages.
No,
like
21 and up, and like.
Facts.
Yeah.
You think they should be at 25 and up?
22 girls are like cute.
Oh, I'm done with you. Actually,
Yeah, you can tell I'm just all over the place right now. Or, yeah.
Hey, with the amount of work that you do, you're gonna be all over the place.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be getting yourself into more places as you keep on doing that great work, dude. So here's the next question I got for you. You're in charge of the lineup and can only book 3 DJs. Who are you booking?
But they're not gonna relate. Whatever.
I mean, no, it's
my
cool.
show, so whatever.
Yeah.
Bring Io from the dead. Io is one of my. I feel like he's the one who really changed the way I looked at club music. People say it's techno, but he's really not. If you listen to actual techno artists from Europe, they sound nothing like him.
What would you? Would you consider it's just like its own thing? Like
I would say he's like progressive, tech trance or something.
Progressive tech trance. Okay.
Because like if you listen to like Ghost in the Machine, it's kind of dead mousey, but it's not like, how would I say? It's not like future bass or big room or electro house. You know?
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying?
I see what you're saying.
So I would say he's more on the mainstream side ish of like techno. So I would book him. I really fuck with Drezzo.
Oh, Drezzo. Okay.
I think I like I don't know if you can really tell like where I'm going with this, but I like the dark side of things. So he's like dark house. And then I was like kind of dark too.
Watch this next one be Rez.
Oh, actually, dude, I don't really like Rez.
Damn! Breaking news!
Yeah, I feel like I respect her, dude, because she produces her own shit.
Right.
From what I've heard from people, I respect that all this she's done, and then her team that worked so hard for her. But I wouldn't like, dude. I went to Sunset, and I was just chilling with like Yolanda Be Cool, and like not even watching Rez's set. I wasn't even watching her set. But she's cool. I've only met her like one time.
Right,
like,
people fuck with her.
Yeah, people fuck with. She's cool. Like I've heard she's a genuine person. So my last one would probably be, Sis Demas.
Says Demas.
Yeah.
Okay.
You look him up. He's a mouse trap artist.
Oh,
okay.
He's
fucking small. He has like 1,000 followers.
Okay.
But
one of those up and coming.
If you look at his shit, I actually might pick him up. But if you look at his shit,
hey, rewind this and put the volume up. Put the volume up. Nah.
Yeah, so he's pretty dope. I like that's just my vibe lately. Like, you know me, I've been into bass before. I went to a lot of house shows. I've been into like dream state a lot too. I think the only genre I can't get into is hardstyle. I think
I've said that in a past episode too.
I respect it.
Same.
Yeah, I understand why people like it, but it's just not for me, you know.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
Same. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I respect it. You know, I'll bear it for an hour. You know,
I won't even go for an hour. I'll wait in the car.
You're waiting in the car. Wait in the car. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. Oh, it's my turn, huh?
Yeah, go right
Okay,
ahead,
light show or headbang? Oh, that's easy.
All right. Well, this is our edition of Truth or Dare. So light show being truth and headbang being dare.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm gonna choose
light show.
Light show. You know, I want to do truth. So
Devil's
with that being
advocate.
said,
Go ahead. Truth.
Yeah. No.
So I have to ask the truth?
You're gonna ask me a question that you want to ask. So like, I'd have to ask you I have to tell you the truth.
Okay. What?
So you can ask me anything that you want.
What's the most illegal shit you've done?
The most illegal shit.
We gotta make this interesting.
Damn, the most illegal
If
shit.
you get caught, just say you lied.
Interesting as fuck. It's all alleged. Allegedly.
Allegedly, all right? So, for those that are watching me that don't know what allegedly means, it's a rumor. I've been accused of some shit. And maybe, you know, that shit happened, but pretty much...
You need to take a sip.
Like the most illegal shit, honestly, is like snuck into EDC, like Las Vegas,
I did that
like
too, dude.
Like I know, but like I'm not like dude, like I'm not like you know I'm by the book.
Waiting for like I killed someone.
Nah, I'm
something.
I'm by the book. Nah, hell no. What you mean, like you know I got a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit like happening for me. Like I need to be responsible, so I try not to do. I try not to put myself in those situations.
That's cap.
But I feel. What you mean? You said that's cap? All right, so explain. Like, all right, so tell me like one of the most illegals like that.
All right, what about that one time when we had went to Vegas, And we stayed at, where did we stay at?
Where did we stay?
Circus, the one.
All right, make it up,
Right?
You're doing good.
I'm making up shit.
You're doing good.
This shit. See, look, he's trying to throw it off.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Go ahead, finish the story. You know what happened.
I don't know. You're making it up. So I mean, I guess this is go anyway. What happened?
I feel like you don't want me to finish the story, so we'll just save it for another time. We'll save it for another time.
Maybe on your next episode.
But yeah, honestly, I think the most illegal shit, like I feel like I was gonna get arrested and shit, like sneaking into.
Dude, did you get in all 3 days?
Nah, just in one day.
I got in all 3 days, bro.
Oh my god, yeah. See, like
I almost got caught day 3. This bitch was like, I know you're sneaking in. Like, she would like grab me, bro, and like, so 2 of my homies had tickets, and then my other homie, like, he snuck in, but he got in.
Okay.
And then she freaking found me, so I like was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not getting a fucking record for something so freaking stupid, right?
Right. Okay.
So I was like, if I'm gonna get a record for something so stupid, I might as well try to escape it, because either way, I'm gonna get a record, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I ran, and I hid in the bathroom for like 30 minutes, and my homies were texting me like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, do you want to wait in the car? And I was like, no, I'm gonna get in. I was like praying to like Buddha and Jesus and Virgin Mary. Same time. I was like, I'm gonna get in some way, one way or another. I found this really cool crew. I was like vibing with them, right? Like outside the party. It was like big ass crew, and I was like, yo, like I need like a favor. I'm sneaking in. Like, let's go. And then so basically when we were scanning tickets,
preparation.
He was like, he was high fiving the guy watching the scan tickets. Like, high five, what's up? Like.
Oh, okay.
So then I just went like that, but it didn't actually scan.
And you just like still got in.
And then I just got in. I was like.
Yeah, because like the way that it works, if you haven't been to EDC, and like I don't know if they still do it this way, but they have like these booths, and like there's security.
But now what they do is 1 by 1.
Oh, that's
like
now
you can't go in a line. Like you have to space out. One by
yeah. They figured it out.
Because they freaking probably were like, well, this bitch got in, and then now they got a whole new rule. Yeah. So sorry for anyone who tried to sneak in after 2016.
Hey, one of our past guests sneaked in through the sewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Vile, I forgot which episode. Damn, we're already at 31, So, Val was telling us how him and some homies had gone through some sewers to get into the Nas.
That's so nasty, though.
I mean, talk about making it work. However the fuck they made it work, but they made it work.
Yeah, I bet. Fuck, that's scary. Hell no. I'll just miss it.
Yeah, the way I went in through EDC is the homie was a vendor there. And he gave me a vendor pass. And it's funny that you mentioned about you, like, praying to Buddha and praying to that, because I had a similar experience, because the vendor pass that he gave me, like, for some reason, whoever was wearing it, like, had, like, a small hand, because it was, like, pretty tight, and I couldn't fit it in my hand.
My hand's smaller than yours. Huh?
Yeah. So I was, like, in the porta potty, because the homie was like, hey, I need you to go in, like, in the porta potty and just, like, don't let them watch you and shit, and just fucking put it in your hand. Try to do it, and like I was trying to fit it, like my fucking hand. Nah, I was trying not to, and that's the thing. I wanted to like keep on squeezing it, but I didn't want to rip it. And like I was in there for 5 minutes. Homeboy was thinking I was taking a shit, right? And he knocked like, hey bro, you good? It's like, nah, yeah, bro, I can't get it in. Like his shit was like so tight, and like at a certain. I
was gonna say that too.
At a certain point, I was like, oh, dude, this shit, like, I'm not gonna get in. Like, I need a fucking miracle right now. I don't know. And like I ended up breaking that shit. I ended up breaking it and like making it seem like I didn't break it, but it looked hella sketch. But anyways, I did that. I came out like, I made it seem like I was like a vendor or whatever, or someone working. We went to like a specific entrance, because I guess it's a specific entrance for vendors.
It worked.
Man, the fools that were just there, they didn't even give a fuck. They were just like, all right, let me just pat you down real quick and everything, blah, blah, blah. And then they saw me, and like you could tell like my shit like was like tampered with, and they were just like, all right, fuck it, like have a good.
So actually, like me and actually Kendall were talking about this. Like, we have similar experiences like doing shit like that. You have to mentally go in when you do shit like that, like knowing that you're gonna get in. It's like a knowingness, right? Like if you look like you're meant to be there, like. If you don't look sketch and be like, like I'm gonna get in, like I belong here, like people don't question.
I think body language is very important when trying to sneak it in. Like acting very important. Being able to play it off like, hey, like you don't understand, like I need to be in there.
Act like you're like working the festival.
Yeah,
like, you work like you're a main worker.
Fuck it, go on Amazon and wear one of those Bluetooth shits. Just look important.
Exactly.
Look like you're like on some shit.
It works.
Wear security guard, fucking clothes. Do something.
Yeah.
Be creative. That's the last question right there.
That's yours, right? Yours is.
Oh, actually, I went through all my Oh, actually, no, I got another one. Who is your least favorite producer / DJ?
It's not Rez, if that's what you're thinking.
No. And this isn't gonna be like someone you hate. Just someone that you like, you're cool with, but maybe not in your top, like your top. Like just someone like
a producer I don't really fuck with. Illenium. I don't really like his stuff. Like very crybaby shit. Like I feel like he's way too overhyped, and like I don't know. I saw some of his set because one of my friends wanted to see it at SMF, and I was like, this shit's so fucking pussy. Like you gotta be beta if you're a guy and you're gonna see Illenium, like, and you don't have a girl. You're so beta.
And then go on Facebook and put in a group chat and be like, oh, who's going to Illenium?
Oh my god, that shit's
and
so
those
fucking.
Facebook
And there's a lot of
pages.
ABGs too. Like it's just fuck. If you're gonna date an ABG, get ready to spend money on fucking Porter, Illenium, and Slander. Yeah.
Hey, but I'll go to a Porter Robinson show for sure.
Yeah, I would go to his show, but I wouldn't pay for his show. I feel like there's very few DJs that I would pay to see. Like pay.
Okay.
Because like I'm not trying to flex or anything, but I haven't paid for a show in like 3 years.
Big flex.
Big flex. Yep.
Yeah, I just like, because I used to get in with either A&R or I know like managers who are friends, or I write like covers on blogs. Like I would review the festival, so that's like how I did it.
Okay.
So, but paying to see someone, I would pay for IO. I would for sure pay for him, but he's gone, so R.I.P.
Facts.
Yeah. Okay, my turn.
Right ahead.
What is the best event show you play? I think I know this answer. It's Lost Lands.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I have said that in like a previous episode too. Alongside with that, I have said the drive-in rave with Virtual Riot back in Halloween.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. But I also did talked about that in other previous episodes, and just to change it up, I definitely want to talk about my Colorado gig that I had when I opened up for Sweet Tooth out there for Bass Ops. That was my first out of state gig. So
cool.
So it was like a really dope experience for me just to go into another area, play my music, and people showed up. People were like, "Hey, you're Husky," blah blah, and like just like that feeling, because like when you're just a DJ, you're only really able to reach out to people. If you're not advertising yourself, like you're only able to reach out like when you're only performing and being able to prove like, oh, who you are as like a DJ. You just DJ and go on stage. But when making music, there's that avenue of like reaching more global people. The distribution. When you get on Spotify and Apple Music, having that access. A lot. There's a lot of people that I feel that when you become that producer and you start making tracks and you add that onto like your DJing portfolio, like you just create a lot more opportunities to go out of state, out of country. Like I was even able to play Canada.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's another gig that I was able to play. I headlined the Canada show. Shout out Emoji for having me. And I wouldn't have been able to done it without music. So, just that feeling, people come up to me like, hey, I've been listening to you for like a couple of years. And like, I'm glad that you came out here to X, Y, and Z. And like, I hope you come back. I dig your set. And I had that experience over there in Colorado when I opened there for Sweet Tooth. So, shout out to the whole Bass Ops team, Amplitude Presents team. It was a great experience. I really enjoyed that show.
If I were to say something, like you're completely right on that. I know there's some people who are like DJs, they're in like collectives and stuff,
and that's fine.
But, that's cool. But if you don't make your own music, like you're not gonna get anywhere. Period. Because what's the product that you're selling? Like, bro, I taught my 8-year-old cousin how to DJ. No, niece. She knows how to like mix songs. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you're an artist, you're a business. You're selling a product, You're marketing yourself, you're selling tickets. That's your product to see you. But what are they buying? An experience, like a unique experience. So I think for any producers that are like not producers, like DJs, like really like know that you have to be your own artist to get recognition, because DJing nowadays is not cutting it anymore, because with the technological advancements, it's not a skill anymore, really.
Unless you're like Craze or like A-Track, but let's face it, not a lot of these DJs are like that on the decks. They still learned in the they were still like older, they were doing that whole like actual DJing, sure. But they are producers. So that's like where the point that I'm getting at, yeah. Oh yeah, facts. And that's the thing. And that's the reason why you see those type of DJs like Craze and A-Track, because they also make their own music.
Yeah.
And like and then bringing back up like earlier when we recorded the podcast, how you say just having that business perspective on things. I feel like when it comes to specifically EDM, you know, I think DJs just have that ego and they're comfortable and they're like, yeah, if I get just all these shows, if I pile it up, like I'm gonna start getting more bigger shows. That's true to a certain extent, but like once you start having your own music, like you'll be able to actually like start selling like tickets for yourself as an artist, not just as a DJ. So like,
I mean, I can take that back. It could work.
No, it could. That's what I'm saying.
Because
to a certain extent,
to get bookings, the only thing that matters is how many tickets you sell.
No, yeah, and that's the thing too.
If you're like, I'm not gonna say any names, but if you're a hot ass girl and you know how to press buttons, people are gonna buy your tickets. If you have a lot of followers, I mean, that doesn't always mean ticket sales, but if you have fans, you know, like if you have fans who really fuck with you, like think about if like Brett Brockman was DJing a show, people will freaking see him. He has fans, you know what I'm saying? And
Paris Hilton has fucking headline and sold out fucking show DJing.
So you have Pauly D too, like
Pauly D,
because he has fans. So I mean, like, but they all come from like a TV kind of background.
Yeah, like there's
right?
there's just
like social like influencer. Mm-hmm. And that's not a lot of us. So it's like, what's the product that you're selling? So music.
I feel like that's the question that a lot of the peers that I'm like I'm around sometimes too at these events. Like they tell me like, yeah, I'm trying to play EDC, blah blah, and they always tell me like, oh yeah, like I want to start making music, blah blah. And I feel like
music.
Yeah, and I feel like that's.
They're like, I want to start making music, and then like a year later, I'm gonna start making music. Make the fucking music. Invest in yourself. Go buy a class. Learn how to use Ableton or FL. Like,
and it pisses me off.
Something. It's okay if your first songs suck. My first songs was fucking terrible.
And that's another thing too. Like, and I feel like this too. Maybe Robert's feel like this too. Like, you make tracks as well, and then throughout the duration of the time, like you may be a little bit insecure. Like, oh damn, look, I want this like track to be like as perfect as it can be. So like you end up just like spending so long just like working on it. You don't end up releasing. And I feel like a lot of times you just gotta like at a certain point just be like, you know what, this track is just how it is. Release it, and cause like you said, a lot of times we want to make hits.
Yeah,
we want to make the best records, but a lot of times, and you see this with every artist. Like not every track's a banger. Not every track's a banger, but it's satisfying to the artist though.
And the thing what I learned in management too, like some of our artists, like the tracks that they took the least amount of time was said, fuck it, like I'm just gonna put this on like my demo like playlist for labels. That's the one that gets the freaking number of plays and shit. You know what I'm saying? Music is subjective, and I've learned this too. I don't like certain people's music, right? But they're freaking selling out shows. Right. So just because I don't like drum and bass. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't really like it.
Oh damn, right in my heart. Fuck.
But I'm not gonna hate on it. It sells tickets. You know, people like it.
Oh, does drum and bass sell tickets?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. So the point is like people like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really like pop music or like as much, but people freaking would spend $300-$400 on Taylor Swift. Like I said, it's subjective to whoever, So just because you think, even if you think your song's terrible, but it's like at least like mixed well, someone might think it's good.
Oh, facts.
Your mix has to be good though, otherwise it's just ass. Like it's just trash. It doesn't matter how good the idea is, but that's what I learned working at labels too. There's some good ideas, but then the mix is like super awful. It kind of like just destroys everything.
And then sometimes labels step in. They're like, "Hey, you know what? Just send us the files."
But they
we'll
usually
like,
don't though, because they're not trying to spend.
They ain't trying to. Yeah,
they're not trying to spend another like $200-$300 on your track to mix.
And then they're not too sure if they're gonna get the return.
So you should like, if you're doing that, you should pay someone on your side for the mix, and then master, and then you send it, because they might just say no just because they don't want to pay for it, Or
they might say yeah, and they want a bigger cut of it. Because they provided that mastering service, Or they might just ask for a fee. Like you said, like it's just whenever you could get shit done by yourself, like you just it's much better for the artist itself.
And labels like that actually. Like when I was at a label, we liked when artists like had a music video done and like had a press kit done, had all these other like little things done, like content on their social media done, like they're like the more that you know yourself as a business, the like artist business, the easier it is for the artists, for the labels to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you're like, I don't know what I want my brand to be like, then you need to go back and like figure that out, Like I would say the music industry and electronic nowadays, I would say it's like 50 music or maybe even 40 music, 60 branding.
Okay.
Yeah. But think about it, if you don't have the music and just the branding, that's still a D. So you need to have like both. but a lot has to do with like how well you market yourself, because it's all an attention game right now, you know?
Yeah.
That's how you see a lot of TikTok artists like blowing up, or, you know, like, and it's like use that opportunity, you know? You have free marketing, because marketing is not freaking cheap when you work at labels.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, marketing is not cheap.
Yeah, it's
Definitely not.
It's a lot of money. So being creative is, if you're creative and you're a producer, whatever you are, that's going to help you a lot in the long run. Whether you're a photographer, graphic designer.
I believe you. Whoever is listening to this that's a creative, whether you're a photographer, videographer, VJ, like, or anything, whatever it is that you have as a portfolio, or what it is that you're trying to brand, like marketing helps out, you know, it stacks up. And I agree. You know, I think that percentage is very on point with like 40%, 60%. And especially with like, I do case studies with like other artists and like and how they present their branding and everything. And I think you're pretty on point with that. You know, I feel like it is kind of like a lot of that branding definitely is like the majority of like the selling point of like trying to get these opportunities when you want to go play or when you want to do this.
So for people who have a volume of music right now, but they don't like know where to go, I would say, like, advice, hire a graphic designer or find a friend who's a graphic designer to consistently make stuff for you. But that means like don't quit your day job, because you need money to pay your graphic designer. You need money to make like little videos for YouTube. You need money to do a lot of stuff.
Right.
And I would say like the starving artists, that existed when we were like in the 1980s, 1990s, when things were way fucking cheaper.
Right.
You know, and I think nowadays, especially if you live in California, that's not gonna sustain you either. Like in music, you can be the most talented person, but if you don't have money to promote your stuff, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you could be making all this shit, but like
I would say the only defense you probably could do is like TikTok and then blow up from there. But I would say that's the only thing. But then even that, like labels, at least in electronic, because you ever see those like bass girls, like girl producers in TikTok?
Yeah,
I've asked labels and they're like, yeah, we don't really look at that as much as people think we do.
No, I mean, actually, I'm not really on TikTok, especially like I'm not really on TikTok like that, like seeing that shit.
You should get on TikTok though, like, and I would say like promote like your shows on TikTok.
I know, I honestly I do, but the thing is that with TikTok, like I don't really give it too much mind.
Yeah.
I go in there, post my shit, and then like I won't touch the app till maybe like a day or two and see like the insights.
Yeah, I don't like getting on too much.
Yeah, I don't like going in there and scrolling and like getting lost in that loop of, oh fuck, this video's cool. Oh, this video's not. Let me just scroll up.
Dude, that was me earlier. I was like, fuck, I feel like a loser.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, that was pretty insightful. And I think you gave out some really good information. I think the percentage was on point. But that's EDM Confessions. That was our segment. What'd you think about the segment right there?
This one?
Yeah, the one with the cards.
I think it was good. It made me think. I feel like I kind of got stuck because working in the like management side, and like I do A&R still too.
Oh, okay.
I'm not as like well-rounded in electronic at the moment. Like I don't know who's the upcoming bass act or the upcoming house act like I used to in college and in iDecent, because I'm so heavily invested in like the business now, you know?
Okay, I got you.
Whereas before, like, you know, sometimes I did want to sign artists that were like I really believed in. They did become big. Like I wanted to sign Io before he was on Mousetrap. Right? But then like looking at the business side of things, like people need to get paid at the end of the day, and you know, venues need to get paid. Everyone needs to make money. So that's important, but that's where I think your shows come in line, because there's still like money into it, but it brings more opportunity for people to kind of take those steps to get to that point. You know, like a showcasing thing, which is why I like collectives, because that's like the stepping stone to the next level. And then it's funny because in collectives, you only see like 1 or 2 people pop off out of like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But that's just the same way in sports, right? Like they play college soccer, but only like 1 or 2 people from the college team make it pro.
Yeah.
You know, it's
making the key decisions, like making the important decisions that really determine the outcome of shit.
Yeah, and I would say if like you're a producer and you're like, or like up, like trying to be one or whatever, just do it. Because I think like I changed my mindset a lot over COVID. You know, like in a personable way and like in a, you know, my professional way. I like, we're all gonna die one day and nothing's gonna matter. You know, so it's like, why are you gonna die like doing something you don't like or not going after something you don't want, or not going after something you want.
Right. Okay.
So I think just start, just do it. Yeah, your first freaking track's gonna suck ass. Like
I know mine did.
Like everyone's first track sucked ass. Like you can ask like Garrick's, Zed, Porter. Everyone's first track sucked ass. But what you do to get better? Okay, you're listening to your track. What sucks ass about my track? You write it all down. Then you go on YouTube, like how to make better drums or how to make better grooves or how to make the bass better, like, and then you like build. And I think that's what I should have done a lot earlier is I didn't like take the correct steps on like improving. I kind of just kept making songs and then didn't really, reflect on how to make them better.
Okay.
But then ever since I started doing that and being more organized with my time, I think like I'm gonna show you after this like segment.
Oh,
like
for sure.
I think my tracks have improved so much. Actually, I did go to Icon too. I didn't tell you about that. Did I?
No. I remember that you telling me, but.
Oh yeah, I went to Icon, but I dropped out halfway. It was a lot of money, but I think that it was beneficial because now I can follow like every YouTube video and not be confused. So. Yeah.
I mean, YouTube pretty much has everything that they fucking teach you over at Icon, I would think.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I would say Icon is a good school if you have money.
Paying for connections.
Yeah, but like, I don't need that,
No, exactly. Like.
That's why I was like, it's like, I respect the school and I think it's good. But I feel like if you're already doing what you're doing, like, I don't think it's going to be super beneficial for someone like
to be spending all that money, right? Because it's like, yeah. And I remember at a certain point, maybe like around 2016 when the Yoast was still happening, I remember people were telling me, yeah, dude, if you want to make it, you definitely got to go to Icon.
There's so many Icon people that didn't make it. It's the same thing as like the sports analogy. Okay, how many students went to Icon, but then how many came out? Io, Kendall, Nightmare, Slander, Jaws. And probably like 4 or 5 other people out of how many students? Like 1,000 or more? So, and okay, and it's not like Porter went to Icon. You know what I'm saying? It's not like 7 Lions went to Icon. Like, you don't need to fucking go to Icon. You just need to be consistent.
It was just so funny when people just try to gatekeep that shit and be like, yeah, if you're trying to like get connections and get shows, like you gotta do this, you gotta go to this place, like, go to Icon Collective, and it's just like, you really just gotta rely on yourself, and people can always build their value without getting these like having to go to Icon. Like they could just.
I would say the number to finish off the show. I would say like the qualities that you need to be a successful artist is really good with people, consistent with your work ethic, optimistic. I would say like lowering your ego, and I would say. Really doing it for the music. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to make a ton of money off DJing. Dude, like, some of my artists are like or some artists that are like 40, 50K, they still work jobs. Like, work jobs or do side jobs or teach lessons or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's...
like, just because you see, like, these people playing festivals doesn't mean they're even making that much money. Like, some artists that are like the 40, 50K followers... My sister makes more money than them, and she's a school counselor. So if you're doing this for the money, you're in the wrong fucking industry or the clout, because that's just not gonna last,
No.
And so I would say the passion too. That's what you need to have.
And it's crazy the perspective of like the outside, like of people like seeing it from outside in. It's like artists are playing these big shows, and like I'll give you an example. Like when I played the Virtual Riot and Eliminate show. Back at Halloween in Silverado, like I remember having like a message or two, like, damn bro, like, then it must be pretty cool, like just always be DJing now, like playing big shows, like not having to work and shit. It's like, no, dude, like I'm still working, like I got a 9 to 5 still, like.
Yeah.
And like
that virtual, right?
No. Someone messaged me, and like they saw like some pictures from that show, and they're like, damn bro, that's dope. Like I see you like doing your thing. Like it seems like you're fucking doing what you wanted to do. Like I need to like quit my job and do my shit too. Like he was just like saying shit like that. And I was like, nah, bro, like I'm still working at a job. I still got a 9 to 5. Like I'm using that money to invest into like this shit right here. So like don't quit your job. Like if it's giving you some sort of income while you're using that to build like your business.
Be like discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah.
Like for example, everyone's going out this weekend to shows. Because the opening of California, and none of my artists have shows. So it's like, do I take this time to go out and like party, or do I take this time to actually work on music since like I'm not working on the weekend this weekend?
Yeah, and a lot of people are like that right now. They're like, hey, let's go to the show. Let's go to that. Like, nah, dude, right now.
Nah,
like,
I'm trying to work on music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't trying to hang out? Fuck you. Nah.
No, yeah, I feel you. But yeah, like and with you, Carlos, to be honest, I think I've always told you this. Like I've always thought that you were gonna do it.
Oh, thanks. I mean, we're still doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
we're still doing it. And it's cool because we're like on different sides at the moment, but we're like still like involved with each other in that way, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's why I was really glad to have you come through. That way, you know, I could kind of catch up with you and see what you've been doing on that side of things. Because, you know, I'm strictly just... And
I feel like I wanted to be on this podcast because I feel like nobody knows how to navigate like business in the music industry.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
facts.
nobody, and like, cause the music industry is such a secret thing. Like no one
people
talks about it.
People try to gatekeep shit because they don't want people to get some of that money. You know, they're trying to gate. You know, it's,
or people just have egos. So
yeah.
they try to gatekeep it. Like I'm not like that. Like I even told this one guy I was potentially picking up for management, right? And he already had a manager. So I was like, you know what, like, because I didn't see a contact, and I was like, you know what, like, that's cool, good for you, like, I hope this, you know, you get what you want from him, and then, but I still offer to help him, like, if you need, like, a connect to this label, I know the A&R, I really believe in your music, and I feel like that's just a better way to navigate, like, what's the fucking point of being a gatekeeper, like, you're gonna make no friends that way, I mean, unless you're, like, an A&R at a label, you're gonna have to, that's your job, but it's, like, why are you not gonna just be supportive of the people around you? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I don't want to say this either to be like sexist, but I feel like as a woman, I'm not like that. And as other women management, I've seen that they're not like that either. But a lot of men I've seen like very like standoffish and like alpha power. And I'm just like, whatever. Like, have fun, like having no friends, whatever. Like I've gone literally like that's how I've literally gone to like all these shows too, because I was just friends with people. You know,
it's just good vibes. Like, you want people are down to have you around with them. You know. Like,
yeah, because they know I'm not like a snake. So
that's the biggest thing
for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you.
No, so I was just gonna touch on real quick how you said that there's like no one wants to show you how to do this stuff. That's a big reason why we did start this podcast, like, and doing these videos and stuff. Because personally, like, I started trying to get into management, helping Carlos out with his management. And there's no, like, YouTube video how to manage type shit. Like,
there's no like, music industry school how to. Like,
facts.
Yeah, they try to teach you a college degree, but I've seen those curriculums. That's not how it works.
It's not it. No. It's not real life experience. And honestly, real life experience, from what I've seen, from the little I've seen, it's from connecting with people and how you relate with them or how you're able to connect with them to keep the relationship going. Because that's all it is. You got to keep the relationships going, whether it's just like small, hey, hi, what's up? Or every time you see them just saying hi type shit. Because like small shit goes a long way, especially in this fucking business.
Having a good personality is such a big thing, you know? And I don't mean like you have to be the funniest person in the room, but you just have to be genuine and stop seeing people as connections. That's what all these people try to do. I'm gonna make connections, go networking. Like, just say, what's up? Like, I'm Ashley. Like, what's your favorite genre? Like, it's so fucking easy to be someone's friend. You know what I'm saying?
Some people make it hard.
Yeah, it's like, or like, you can, like,
some people try too hard.
I believe in, like, energies and shit, and I can feel when someone's trying to use me. You know? Like, there's one girl asked me, like, about my experience. I was like, and then, you know, how I did what I did. And I was like, you know, I'll help her out, you know, pay it forward. Because I never had anyone help me. Like, I say that a lot because no one helped me at all. I had to navigate this shit all on my own. So I want to make it easier for other people, you know, that so they don't have to go through all that bullshit. Mm-hmm. So I was helping her out, giving her, like, tips. And then she, like, literally asked me, she's like, can you give me an internship here? And I was like, bro, you don't even know me. Like, why would I get you? Like, and I was just like, and I told her professionally, like, I don't think that that's suitable because, like, I don't even know, like, who you are as a person.
And what you're capable of, like, yeah.
Yeah, but I was very professional about it. I was like, you know, maybe you can apply, like, online or something. And versus someone else, this guy I met at Ooby Dooby. Super cool guy. He's I met him through, like, a friend, right? And he's, like, he works for free a lot because he really wants to get in the industry. And then he didn't even have to ask me, dude. Like, I was, like, really dope with him. We became friends. And then the A&R from Dim Mak hit me up saying, hey, do you have any recommendations on who can be my next intern? I automatically picked him without even telling him. Like, I was like, this is my homie. This is number. And then I told him, I was like, hey, like, send me your resume. And he was like, for what? And I was like, just send it to me. And then I think like they're working together now. That's still pending, but he's always taken my recs. So that's how like the networking works. Like they ask old interns or other professionals, like, who do you recommend as an intern? You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't see shit online, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky that my Insomniac internship was online. I didn't hear from them for like 2 months, dude. I was like, I probably didn't get it. Like, no interview. Like, maybe they got someone else. And then they called me, and I was like, what the fuck? That's where it all started, dude. And then actually, this would probably be insightful for other people, too. So when I had my interview with this, her name was Jackie Berry. She works for Warner Records now in pop. You know, good for her. I had my interview with her, and then I like looked her up on LinkedIn. I was like, okay, what can I have in common with her? And then I like saw her activities that she did. I kind of looked on her socials. I was like, okay, she likes to go to church. Okay, she's very into like this artist. Okay, like I try to figure out, not to be fake or anything, but like what are anything similar I can have with her. Yeah. So then when I got in the interview, I was like super cool, like I was professional, but I was very relaxed too, you know, being confident.
Okay.
And then, you know, and then I started bringing up the same soccer team that we liked. You know, I started bringing up, like, the church that I went to, like, for volunteer work. And then that really helped me, like, relate to her, you know? And, you know, I just, you know, I went in the interview, like, going, you know, caring about her, too. Like, how was your day? How was your week? What was your favorite part of it? What are you looking forward to this weekend? Like, that's cool. Versus just, like, answering questions. You know what I'm saying? They're very simple things you can do to relate to someone. So, I read a lot of books on, you know, like connecting with people and stuff, just because I just want to like be better personally, you know, with, you know, building like relationships, not connections. I freaking hate that word. Relationships, right? And I feel like it's helped because I was already doing all those things the book said, but I was more like sharpening on like body language. The way you talk to them, how do you approach them, like what do you talk to them about? A big tip too is like you always want to make them feel like they're the highlight of your day. Like, you know, ask them what they like, not just talk about you. And this is where a lot of guys fuck up with girls too. They like to talk about themselves because they like to think like, oh, I need to prove myself to this person that I'm like up here, versus just being cool and just listening.
Right.
You know, make a joke here and there, like be funny, be like relax, and that's the same thing with networking, you know. So, when I go to shows, I just like to make friends. My goal isn't like, okay, what does this person do so I can know what to get from them? What does that person do so then they can help me in this? The artist relations guy from Sunset, the one who was just giving us like White Claws and our writer, I was just super cool with him, like talking about his favorite band and stuff. And then he was like, well, if you ever move to Miami, you know, like my friend owns Space Club, like Club Space, you know, so maybe if you want to work there or whatever. I had no idea that was like something that could have been possible.
You'd be surprised.
You know?
Like,
yeah, exactly. That's why it's important just to be like cool with everybody.
Be nice too.
And they gave me free alcohol, dude. People had to pay. People had to pay $15 for a drink, and they're like, here's 4 tokens, and each token is a drink. And I was like,
fuck, run that shit.
Sorry, this is like a long podcast, but I think anyone who's watching this producer-wise or wants to work in the music industry, just get your name out there, be cool, like offer to help people for free if you want to work in the industry. Because, you know, it's a numbers game. Email like 30 people, one of them is bound to say yes because everyone needs help, you know? So
I know, yeah, and just to end this real quick, the episode as well, you know, I always try to wake up also too. You know, it's our life. We always try to figure out, what do we need to be doing for our life? But like you had mentioned, I think we just need to sometimes sacrifice some of our time to be committed side characters to our friend's main story, if that makes sense. Like, you know, some people have their own dreams, and I feel like, and like I'm trying to work on this too. You know, I'm trying to be more committed to my side character role and my friend's main story. So like if you know my friend has a business or my friends have certain intentions and goals that they want to reach, you know, I always try to I try to find time to sacrifice shit that's like not related to me, you know. I try to just like sacrifice my time to like help them out and whatever it is that, and like, you know, just be like their support, you know, just like be their support.
I think that's important too. I'm friends of friends who've like they run events and stuff like that, and you know, one actually owns a business, like she's running her own marketing business. So like, you know what, like maybe I'll get her in touch with my artist so she has like music experience, you know, like how to do marketing for music or branding. That was the term. So then I connected her, like we're super cool. And then turns out like some of the events she's throwing, they're headlining big acts like Snake, Diplo, like all this shit. And then, you know, she was like saying like, you know, if your acts ever want to open, like I got you. It's just some shit like that. But like, I'm not saying you're always gonna get that shit back. Like I had no idea she was even running events. I thought she was doing branding. I feel it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe the person who's, you know, doing like designing clothes can do your merch job next time. It's like, but I mean, don't go in it with that intention. But I feel like no matter what happens, like the energy is gonna be coming back to you what you give. You know, people are important to me, so. Yeah, I fuck with myself. That's why I'm like not single and like, you know, doing my whole shit. But it's like I think, you know, relationships with people, whether that be like family or friendships, they're important to hold on to, because when you die, what's gonna matter the most? Like when you die, like yeah, your music career, but your family, you know, you know, the people who loved you, that you loved. That shit that's what's gonna matter, you know? So I don't know if I'm saying this right, but yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, once we leave this earth, it's, you know, besides the music, besides all the other shit, you know, how were you treating other people and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, like what did you leave behind? And I'm pretty sure there's like I can't name any actors or musicians, but if like a shitty musician died who did all this fuck shit, like nobody would care. But someone like Michael Jordan, like people love him because he was a family person. You know what I'm saying? Like he cared about his daughters more than basketball. So I think that shows a lot of character, and I think ultimately that makes you the most happy, because you see like artists kill themselves. Yeah. You know, because they're depressed, but they're making fuck ton of money and they still kill themselves. Yeah. But yeah. So know what's important. It's good to have passions and goals and stuff, but also come back to like, you know, being a human and like feeling and shit. Yeah. Yeah. Simp hours.
Ashley, thank you so much for coming through to the Spotlight, episode 31. I had a great time talking with you, getting to know more of what you've been doing, you know, your thoughts and feelings on certain things. Before we ended this episode, is there anything that you want to announce? Anything that you want to let our audience or your audience know about any upcoming things that you're going to be doing?
I'm finally releasing my music, because I spent like 2.5 or 3 years. Like I was making like bass at first, because, you know, bass is fucking sick. And then like for some reason, dude, like I wasn't happy. Like I was like not proud. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I didn't connect with the music I was making. And that's a real thing. And then I was like, you know what? I can make house, because everyone likes house. It's like fun, which is dope. I love house music too, but I didn't connect with it either.
You gotta connect with your music.
Dude, and it was good. Like I sold some of my songs to people who released them, and I was like, fuck it, give me like $300 and it's mine, like whatever. And I didn't feel like I connected with it. Like if I were to play that live, I would not be like lit. Like I'd be like, I don't care.
No, right? Because like it just didn't really connect with you.
Connecting with your music's such a big deal, and I feel like after so long, like I finally found what I like.
And other people can feel that too.
Yeah,
when you connect with your music.
And there's some people that don't like it, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't care, because I like it, you know? And yeah, I think if you're looking for your sound, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be releasing my music. I don't have the exact date yet because of content and shit. Okay. But I believe it would be like the 3rd week of August. I'll keep you posted.
3rd week of August.
You can see on my socials. We'll drop my socials down.
It's right there. Rad_Riley with 3 Ys.
Okay, so I would describe it as dark club. That's what I make. Oh, okay.
All right.
Dark club. So stay tuned for that. Okay, that's it.
All right. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for coming through to the Spotlight, episode 31. Make sure you go ahead and follow Ashley at @RadRiley or Rad_Riley with 3 Ys. I'll make sure to put it in the description as well. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell button as well, so you stay notified. Really does help us out a lot. That way you guys get first dibs to view it as well. So remember, every Monday and Fridays we're always uploading. We're always uploading too on SoundCloud. Make sure to follow the channel. And once again, thank you so much for the support. And Ashley, thank you so much for coming through. It was a pleasure. And we'll see you guys next time. This was the Spotlight Podcast here at Lucid Tempo. We out.
That was fun.